YouTube? STF Gaming here with another retro deck profile. This time around it's going to be the 2009 Blackwing deck that we featured in the full match I had up on my channel not too long ago. So this is going to be the 40 card main deck as well as the 15 card synchro deck, extra deck, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to get more into explanations in just a bit, but I figured I'd show you the deck list beforehand. Take a look, there's a lot of 3-ofs in the Blackwings, you got the 3 Black Whirlwinds, pretty good stuff. This is the Dark Strike Fighter format, so it's a very explosive form.
Alright guys, so let's get to the explanations. First off, you got 3 Sirocco. Sirocco is a card that a lot of people ran 2 of this format. This build in particular runs 3. I find that it helps get the early game start that you need because Blackwings is kind of relying on its first summon. If your opponent can stop the first summon, the deck can't really go off all the time, at least until the next turn. It also has a great effect which can pump your Blackwings and lead to a really easy swing with like a Bora into a set monster which can get a lot of pierce damage with one attack. And in the mirror match, this gains attack equal. This can make one of your Blackwings gain attack equal to every Blackwing on the board. So it's insane in mirror matches, this is like, if not the best deck, the second best deck of the format. 2 Blizzard. This is going to be the only Blackwing that there are 2 of because it is kind of like a really bad early game draw, but like mid game you can make an easy level 6, just get your level 4 from grave. Even worst case you can get like a Kalut, which is a level 3, and make a level 5 synchro. It really helps control your graveyard for Dark Arm as well. 3 Bora, really good, not because it pierces or anything, it's good because it's a decent normal summon for your Black Whirlwind to search any Blackwing with less attack. It's also great at like overflowing the board with Blackwings. I mean, this card's ability lets you special summon it if you have another Blackwing with a different name, so just really good in this deck. Same thing with 3 Gale. Has the same ability where you can summon it if you control a Blackwing with a different name. Has a great ability. A lot of decks this format just ran this card because it was just so good against everything. You know, Goyo Guardian gets halved, Stardust gets halved, Dark Arm gets halved. Just have whatever you need to. It's a tuner. Just a really versatile card for the time. And it was like 10 bucks, believe it or not. And really good Blackwing. That's your main tuner of the deck. 3 Kalut, you're going to be searching this a lot, especially when you like summon Shura. It's really good with Shura because they attack into your Shura, you Kalut it, and then Shura gets its ability. It's level 3 for your Blizzard, like I mentioned, and also it just really helps you get that swing damage. Like what you probably are noticing about this deck is that it has a really good like burst damage in it. One of the weakest cards in the deck, because your opponent always plays it around it, is Blackwing Shura. When it destroys a monster as a result of battle, you can special summon 1 Blackwing with 1500 or less attack from the deck. I think it's in defense position. And it negates the effect. So the best thing about it is that it's 18, so it helps you search almost anything in your deck with Black Whirlwind. And like I said, the deck kind of wants normal summons. But again, they're just going to always have the answer to his broken ability. But if they don't, he's great. And then the Dark Arm, because the whole deck's Darks. So that's the monster lineup. I love this deck. Reminds me of, you know, wind-ups or whatever. The key of the deck, Black Whirlwind. Your opponent's always going to try and answer your Blackwings because this card is a engine, let me tell you. This card is the reason Blackwings are broken. Every normal summon's going to get more Blackwings. Keep in mind if they bottomless your monster or Book of Moon it, then you don't get the search. Heavy MST just helps you burst. There's no real Cold Wave or True Nade in this deck. The deck could run True Nade or My Body's a Shield. I think My Body is a decent addition to the deck if you wanted to try it out. These 2 cards help with your just synchro plays. They're great this format. I guess you could say the same about this. Defensive cards, Book of Moon, really good card in a synchro-based format. Not much to say, it's just a good defense card. And 2 Allure, because it's a dark deck. Same reason as Dark Arm. Allure is great. What you're going to be removing this a lot of the time is Blizzard. or Sirocco. I find myself removing those a lot. And if you have too many darks, maybe like you remove a dark arm. Do keep in mind, when you're thinking about removing dark arm, if you're playing against a deck that does run dark arm, let's say you have 7 darks engraved, right? And your hand is like these 2 on a dark arm. Let me just get the... Alright, so your hand's like this, and you're playing against a deck that runs a dark arm. Keep in mind, you could mind control their dark arm at one point in the game to remove your darks until you have 3 darks engraved. So maybe sometimes you don't want to lure the dark arm away because this can end up winning the game at the end. So just, you know, that is something relevant to keep in mind. It's not going to happen all the time, but definitely relevant. Alright, Dust Shoot. I like running this in all my decks in this format because Cold Wave is a card, and there's like not a lot of answers to it. So I feel like Dust Shoot is a really good answer. It's like one of the best. Like every time they Cold Wave, they're going to do something degenerate, like Summoner Monk into Rescue Cat, or, you know, Blackwing shenanigans. Just chain the Dust Shoot. That's the perfect answer. One of the perfect answers. Some defensive traps. Bottomless is great against every deck this format, especially Blackwings. Stop their whirlwinds and stuff. And stops like Lightsworn, Delilahs, and Judgment Dragons. And in the against Synchro Cat, you can stop like Air Bellums and stuff. And then Mirror Force and Torrential is just good defense to protect your Blackwings, because if you protect your Blackwings, you can get really good value off your Icarus attacks. Icarus attack is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I think when I played this deck, I ran 3, but 2 was pretty common. It does require, you know, a Wing Beast. So I mean, even though the whole deck's Wing Beast, it can be a task sometimes to get it to resolve. Your opponent has to have 2 cards on board, you have to have a Blackwing. Things have to align kind of perfectly, so I could see why not everyone likes 3. Just a really good trap, like, just a great trap, not much else to say. 3 Solemn. I've said this in my Synchro Cat video, but Solemn it can kind of be seen as not... It's really bad against Dark Strike Fighter, because Dark Strike can easily do 4,000 damage, so Solemn is going to be a liability a lot of times. But the way you use it in this format a lot of the time is you're usually going to use it when you're going for a push, so it kind of acts as like your 3rd, 4th, and 5th copy of MST or Heavy Storm to let you get the push in with the Dark Strike. And worst case, you get to use it defensively against like a Cold Wave or, you know, your opponent going crazy. So that's the reasoning on Solemn. And let's get to the extra deck, Fusion, Synchro deck, whatever, real quick. Let me get to the level 8s. Level 8s aren't super relevant in this deck, but you do run Mind Control, Monster Born, and Brain Control, so they can happen. The main way to summon a level 8 is like you have a level 6 already, and then you Blizzard into the level 8. So yeah, not much to say about these guys. This guy's sweet. Level 7s are pretty common to summon. Here, level 7s. You don't actually run a level 5 spellcaster or a level 4 spellcaster, but you can easily, you know, Brain Control or Mind Control, like a Gravekeeper Spy, a Summoner's Monk, a Lila, stuff like that. So this card is very similar to Black Rose, except it leaves a body on board. So sometimes you'll be able to make this and leave the 1800 defense body. And sometimes Black Rose is just better, just play the Black Rose there. Dark Strike format, don't have to explain it. This was like $100 at the time. Does 1,000,000 damage. Armed Wing, Armor Master, I mean, this is a Blackwing deck, and Armor Master is great. It can't be destroyed by battle, and I think when it battles with something that it battled with in the past or something like that, it makes it 0. It's also a Wing Beast. You're gonna find yourself making this sometimes. Onto the level 6s. Best level 6 is Yugioh. For Blackwings, Armed Wing is pretty good because you can collude it and it pierces, so it can get in some crazy burst damage. And this is the 15 synchro on the deck. I mean, if you're out of level 6s or you don't want to waste one of these, Guide Knight's there. You could replace it with like anything if you want. And these are level 5s. Some people opted for just 2 androids, but Gishilin Odon was kind of a little techie card. Look at the condition on this. I'll let you guys read it. When a level 3 or lower monster in the field is sent to the graveyard, it becomes 3,000 till end phase. So, you know, you can find yourself in instances where that happens in Blackwing, and you have a 3000 attacker as opposed to a 24, which can be relevant in situations. It's not like you're making level 4s a lot, and there's not too many synchros, so there's just space in the extra deck, so why not? And that's the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to go to my my profile page, STF or Retro Yugs, and you can go to the community tab, and from there you can vote on what matches you want to see next. So peace out.